Now, France's debt crisis is at the forefront of Prime Minister François Bayrou's agenda as he warns Parliament about the country's spiralling deficit. Bayrou, France's fourth Prime Minister in a year, has inherited a divided National Assembly and faces challenges in passing a sustainable budget for 2025.
So I say that all the governing parties, without exception, have a responsibility for the situation that has arisen over the last few decades. And I assert that all the opposition parties in this forum, constantly calling for additional spending, have also danced the fatal tango that has brought us to the brink of this precipice.
France's debt to GDP ratio, currently at 112.2%, is projected to rise to 124.1% by 2029. According to the IMF, Bayrou's government is under pressure from both opposition parties and the European Commission. A no-confidence vote spearheaded by the far left threatens to destabilize his administration, just as it did his predecessor, Michel Barnier. The European Central Bank has flagged down risk by sovereign debt vulnerabilities across the Eurozone. Debt levels remain high, with the bloc's average debt-to-GDP ratio at 88.1%. However, disparities are stark. Greece leads with 163.6%, followed by Italy at 137%. Rising refinancing costs and weak economic growth compound these issues. France projects growth of just 0.9% in 2025, while its deficit reduction timeline has slipped to 2029. The ECB warns that the fiscal slippage could reignite fears of a debt crisis, recalling the turmoil of the previous decades. This comes as Europe faces a widening growth gap with the United States. The IMF projects annual growth rates of 1.45% for the EU and 2.29% for the US by 2029. Between 2010 and 2023, the US recorded cumulative GDP growth for 34% compared to just 21% in the EU. Now, the disparity is driven by low productivity in Europe, particularly in the technology sector, which has stagnated since 2005, while growing by 40% in the United States. Structural challenges such as weak business investment and a fragmented single market have hindered competitiveness. The IMF warns that without significant reforms, Europe risks losing further ground in productivity, tax revenues, and global investment attractiveness. For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.